Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got a haircut because even I am capable of basic hygiene every now and then. As we're going to showcase a brand new deck for beautiful mofos. It's called U-Turn, and it features not one, but two recently nerfed cards. And I say this with a smile on my face because I actually get excited when I play with nerfed cards. Not as much as messing around with buffed cards, right? But being able to mess around with a card that was deemed too powerful earlier and testing it out and seeing its current power level is just something that's always fun for me. Like I appreciate balance changes as much as new expansions, really. Like it is just kind of like messing around with a new card, and there's a lot of neat things that I have to say about the cards that I feature here. As we're gonna talk about an Allegiance Recall-based deck with Kennen and AHRI, with a minor splash of Demacia for, of course, my favorite champion, even though that title has been contested with Bandle City because there's too much rally going around. But my ex-favorite champion, I guess, in Golden Aegis, representing Rally. So this deck was heavily inspired by Bruised by God. I was actually checking out his stream. You know, to be completely honest, I was gathering my popcorn and getting ready for a little bit of drama because I knew that he wouldn't be very happy about the hotfix, because he was one of the biggest advocates for Ezreal Kennen. Yeah, he was playing the deck since day one. In fact, he built it from scratch on stream. I know there are other players that also built it from scratch. I don't know who the original, like a lot of times with digital card games, there's not one original creator, right? So I can't really point a finger, but I do know that if it may have been Bruised by God. I'm not exactly sure. Regardless, he was a very big advocate of the deck, and he wasn't very happy about the fact that it got nerfed to the ground, right? Though the majority of the community agrees that the deck was overperforming and was becoming a little bit too toxic. I wasn't too against it because, you know, for me it was a matter of time. Like, I still could deal with it, and mentally, you know, I wasn't like too bothered by it or anything. Like, I would require like a few more weeks for me to start like hating the deck personally. But, you know, I understand the change, and I can also understand why he was personally upset with it, but I think a good portion of the community won't necessarily empathize too much in that regard. So, yeah, fantastic deck builder, fantastic player, and he decided to take a bit of a different approach and go back to Kennen and AHRI with the idea of making good use of Seinen. And I definitely agree with his take on Seinen. I think this card is being very slept on. I think the fact that it's 6 mana throws some people away, but it is incredibly powerful and super valuable. And combining it with the rally effect with Golden Aegis is actually a really neat approach. My deck is very different from where he was headed with his. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm not playing. Like, he was playing Eye of the Dragon and stuff like that. I took my own approach, but I essentially what I took from him is I want to play a deck, an Ione deck with Seinen, Kennen and AHRI, and I want to run Golden Aegis as my splash card. So this is what I ended up coming up with. The reason why Seinen is so good in this deck is because of Kinkou Wayfinder. Even though this card got changed or nerfed, it's actually really strong here, and it really gives you a reason to play Kennen with AHRI, because by slapping in a Dancing Droplet, you are guaranteed to, first of all, you get to play Kinkou Wayfinder more times than in Kennen Ezreal because of that presence of another, like technically if you don't draw any of your 1-drops, you could play 3 Kinkou Wayfinders and not have to shuffle any champions in the deck to do so, right? Which is something that with Kennen Ezreal you could definitely not do. So it gives us more long-term value potential. And what I like about this is that having the Dancing Droplet means that with AHRI we get some insane early game card draw, which is not at the expense of that much tempo at all. Because if you want to be recalling something, most of the time recalling 1-drops is generally the way to go, because you have to invest less into bringing them back onto the board. As we have some very key staples here. We got Recall, we got Retreat, we got Twin Disciplines. Very important. God Will of Seedling, even after the nerf, very good. In fact, there's a lot of very neat things to take into account now that it's an odd number, the countdown, I mean. Because, for example, if you play this on curve and you have a attack token on turn 3, that means that you're going to be getting or spawning the second ephemeral on turn 6 when you don't have the attack token and your opponent can threaten you with an open attack. So now, playing this offensively, so you can make use of the ephemeral unit, can give you a unit to defend with later in the game. And it makes it so that you have to think 1 turn ahead from before when playing this. And it makes it harder to execute properly, but at the same time, it also makes it more fair because it slows it down. But I really like the fact that it's an odd number now, and that the moment you play this, you have to keep that into account. If you don't have the attack token when you play this, you will be getting the ephemeral unit when you do have the attack token. So you can go from attack to defense or from defense to attack now with this card, and I feel like that's really, really neat. And I'm a big fan of what they they did to it. It's still very competitive as a card, but it's not as toxic as before, as it gives you more time, and I'm just a big fan of this landmark design. We have a full set of Homecoming, a one-off of Deny, and a one-off of Spirit's Refuge. Spirit's Refuge can be very cheeky with AHRI, leveled up AHRI, that is, as we can just get all our health back against aggro decks. Because we don't have that many big units in this build, it's still only as a one-off, because if we had some more tall powered units, I would run more copies of it. But I do feel like it's important for those specific matchups and maybe for some protection from removal here and there. But aside from that, we're playing Deny for disruption, and we're focusing more of our 4-mana spells on Homecoming and Concussive Palm. Homecoming being the most important because of the synergy with our Dancing Droplets and our 1-drops in general, and giving us Recall while also giving us protection. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the deck list right there. Very difficult to play, really, at least to pilot perfectly. Feels really neat in the meta still, you know. There's a lot of Pantheon running around, and there's a lot of good matchups for this, especially mid-range based decks. And ultimately, it's just a very satisfying sort of archetype to play that has different routes of sequencing. Because, you know, when you take Godwill Sealing into account and the potential synergy with Seinen, you know, you can go for value and a slower game plan, or you can prioritize tempo. Like, it really depends on the situation, the matchup, a lot of different variables. And hopefully today's gameplay, you know, I was pretty focused because it was, I was also like learning to navigate the deck properly. And hopefully you guys enjoy it nonetheless. And that's where I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Lurk. I don't think Lurk should be too bad of a matchup, really. Especially with cards like Homecoming. It's just about surviving. Like, I'm not as much afraid of Rek'Sai as I am of the likes of Pike, and obviously like a very menacing early curve, which is why I want to mulligan away everything. Even though Homecoming is really neat, we have multiple copies of it, so we can draw it later. And we got to do our very best to find a bit of a curve, at least trade into their things and stuff. I'm gonna check if I'm recording. Alright.
Step lightly.
He's already gotten the attack, so I can just take this hit.
Stay safe. I'll take it from here.
Recall, so I can draw through my deck.
Quick hands make quick work.
Call that a turn. Just passes. I want to go with the Dancing Droplet so that I have more tools. Okay. I mean, he has to attack, nonetheless. With 3 mana, I have to watch out for the likes of...
Silent as death.
Alright, Kennen.
You call that sneaky?
It's a trap.
I'm gonna defend a little bit there.
Balance in all things.
Okay. I can go for the Shadow Assassin development. I gotta be really careful here, though. Gotta keep my mana open. I have this God Willow Seedling as well, but I want to preserve it for later. I think I can just...
But not too much.
I think it's safe, though, to do this.
The order rewards its faithful.
May very well have a bone skewer. But at least I'll get that out of him. Yeah, and I'll gain some advantage there. As long as he doesn't have, of course, a piranha. A swarm. He does. Oh, that sucks.
Forest and I are one.
Okay, that's a good draw. That's a good draw.
Eyes open.
Yes.
Now you will see my final move.
Beautiful. That was a really good top deck. That was pretty amaze balls. Let's go with that. I can actually kill off you.
You can fight, show me.
I actually could have gone with the willow seedling here. But to be fair, I wouldn't have been able to attack like this anyways, so that was good here. Okay, so I'm thinking. Yeah, I didn't. No. This was fine because I needed the threat of the twin disciplines here, so I can just start clearing off some of the bodies here.
Waiting for the right moment.
And I can just do this. Just charge this first. Eliminate that body there. Spirit's Refuge is very neat. Call the pack onto that, alright. So 2 followers. It's just this is the only card that I don't know what it is. Jawfish, sorry. Okay, so give me a moment, I need to make sure, because that one's targeting that. This one's targeting you, and that one's targeting you. So if we do this...
Extra hands never hurt.
We missed the allegiance there. I wasn't entirely sure.
I am a huntress.
All right.
I am Vastaya.
Just trying to think here. Like I'm sorry if I'm not narrating everything. It's just that there's a lot of things to consider here, and I want to make sure that I do things right. We have the golden Aegis, which can pretty much win us the game here if we do things correctly. We know by returning his pike, if he plays a pike, like he needs to play pike before he can enable another pike as a bone skewer. We know this was generated by Call the Pack. We know the 2 cards that were generated by Call the Pack. So there's these other 2 cards that we don't know what it is, but one of them was dragged below. But as they attacked, it wasn't the Rek'Sai, right?
Can you hear your heartbeat? I can.
Okay. We're gonna go for the AHRI because only double bone skewer does it, and it can't be double bone skewer because this was a lurker. So this card is lurker 100%. This could be a bone skewer for all I know. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, that's fine. And that's game. Got it! Nice! AHRI lethal! Game 1, baby! Beautiful. And that synergy with his Spirit's Refuge, by the way. Woo! There we go.
Remember this moment.
Remember it. Forever. Alright. From Lurks. Or fish, rather. To godly beings. Easy peasy. We have Dancing Droplet turn 1, which is not bad. I like the God Willow Seedling here. I'm actually going to mulligan away these 2. See if I can find some more substance here. It's hard to say no to Dancing Droplet on turn 1, even though you do want to make sure your 1-drops are in the deck for the Kinku Wayfinder. But because of the way this deck works, I'd have to draw 3 Dancing Droplets first before that actually became an issue, so... These Homecoming, Cookers of Palm, these cards are worth gold in this matchup. Unfortunately, we're taking quite a bit of damage here, but I think that's fine. I could have used the Twin Disciplines, but I'll take the hit. We'll say I do draw into some sustenance though. Okay, that's good.
I am lightning. I break the wind. Words of power linger in the air.
Linger in the air.
Carry your own gear.
Alright, I'll take that free kill. Obviously, I'm giving him fragments, but we are A-okay with that.
Come out from your shadows, demon.
And now I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna stun the Beefier unit. Though, to be honest, I could just focus on using this because I know I can eliminate this. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But I mean, to be fair, he may be forced. I may force him like to resort to that. Because I actually don't mind this here. Let's see if he sees what's coming. Yeah. Yeah. We bait that out of him. That fragment to permit. And now what we do is we mark you. I want to go for the cannon level up, even though I'm missing out on card draw with the Dancing Droplet, but being able to finish these off is really neat. It's quite a bit of damage that we're taking though, so maybe I am inclined to trade you into you.
Waiting for the right moment. Ready.
I'm gonna go for the card draw.
Everyone here? Let's go.
I write the rules of power.
Ba-dum, ba-dum. I'm gonna mark the storm this.
I will die when I am ready.
And now I attack with both droplets. If he has a sharp sight, so be it. Otherwise, we punch in a little bit of damage. Now we're close to... Now, next time we summon Kennen, it'll be a level up here. We actually find the Golden Aegis, but we don't really have the setting for it right now. So, I gotta see... I gotta think what we can do here. I mean, Kennen level up is... Or feels rather like the way to go. Maybe bouncing... no. Okay, so he just went for that. Which is certainly interesting because he has to... Like, the moment he commits the Blade of Exile is the moment we can play Kennen and we can stun it.
It's my time.
So, not surprisingly, he attacks this way.
It will be done.
What about Homecoming?
I'll take care of this.
Noxus will pay for what they did to us.
Now you will see my final move.
Now we play Kennen. Now that we see the Minotaur Reckoner, we play Kennen, and we're like, hey, bruh, if you want to get a free attack with this, it's getting stunned. This is what's gonna happen. Is he going for it? Yeah, it has to be something different, of course. Alright, let's let that go through. I am ready. I could recycle some, but
Cannot win.
I'm just gonna go with this, to be honest. Offer an even trade with these two faded units as he goes for a buff. And I think this is a good chance to just show them Discipline of Fortitude. Tell them we can take it. Because we have Discipline! Go Discipline! Take the hit, and we end up surviving. And now... Again, I want to keep that stunned. So I'm just going to apply this mark onto you. I've seen the nerf of God Willow here, but it's alright. It's all good, because now we can just go, yeah! Give him a silent death. Get that mark again. We can stun whatever decides to block us. He does not want to give us the extra, or the free stun, rather. I'd rather preserve, at this point, I'd rather preserve my Tail of the Dragon. Is this the face of fear? I love his. He takes himself very seriously, and I can appreciate that. Yep, I think a golden Aegis is justified here. I think it is. He's running very low on cards. If he blocks the cannon, then I get 2 marks, which is really neat. I have this Twin Disciplines as well. Get another mark. We can always stun and eliminate this if we need to. So he will be getting a gem out of this, which is fine. If he doesn't declare a block here, it is alright. Pretty close to winning here. We have the Twin Disciplines at this point, so... that's dangerous. Dangerous. But no, we have the counterplay if we need to. What I mean by us having the counterplay is that if he plays Pantheon,
I stand this way, a man against all gods.
we can do this. Because he was definitely looking for the opening there.
We are all soldiers this day.
Okay, so he's got Lifesteal, Fearsome, Challenger, Tough, and Augment. Alright. Now we do this. And we mark you.
Sorry.
Now the God Willow goes again. We get another cannon here. And now we have the ability to stun any of these. Beautiful. Actually beautiful. Like, I low-key like the change to God Willow a lot. Like, you actually have to use your head a bit more when playing it, which is really nice. And the fact that it's an odd number, like the countdown, has a lot of, wait for it, implications. Okay, Overwhelm there.
We must.
Alright. So we can go with you. Take the hit here. We're not afraid of taking the hit. Just gotta make sure that I keep the
Patience is a virtue, but not too hard.
maybe I should have returned Kennen, to be honest. I like the deny a lot.
Silent as death.
We're gonna play the elusive, and we're gonna try to go for the elusive gameplay.
See the world from behind a basilisk.
So we're gonna set up lethal in several ways here. First of all, we attack like this. Alright? We attack like this, and then if he does have something like Sharp Sight, then what we can do is we can combine Retreat with Twin Disciplines to win. Or we can just... or maybe we're overthinking a little bit. But hey, it's nice. It's nice to have an alternate plan, and I think we piloted that decently. You know, I was weirded out there for a second because I saw this Teemo avatar, and it's been such a long time. I actually missed it. I realized how much I missed old Teemo, as we're facing Teemo Swain, which is not really like a unique or new archetype, but it'll be an interesting one for sure. We definitely want to keep our... I think I'd just keep this entire hand, to be honest. because the recalls are going to be really, really useful here, and the AHRI Conspirator can allow me to not only recycle the cannon, but give me a solid blocker for Teemo. And I don't want to play cannon just yet. Like, I want to get value out of it.
The forest and I are one.
So I'm going to play AHRI, because I don't need a board to play AHRI. A 2/3 with quick attack. Like, AHRI's pretty, like, as a 2-drop, she's pretty neat on her own. Just good stats, good keyword for a 2-drop especially. And yeah, good art as well. Nothing but praise.
Hide and seek, huh?
I mean, I just want to make use of my stats here, to be honest.
I am lightning. I break the wind.
Easy does it.
Some jump blockers there.
Oh dear.
I can just pass for now. We drew Sign-In,
Vision to see what others.
a card that I really want to showcase.
Balance in all things. Catch me if you can.
Slowing down the level up from you can be really key here. But at the same time, is it worth a Twin Disciplines? Me spending my mana?
This is a virtue, but not too much.
I don't think so. I'll take the hit. Seems kind of wild, but I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna be very, like, I'm gonna play a little bit slow, because the more times I pass over initiative to him, the more chances I give him to make a misplay, right? Or to pre-commit something.
Can you hear your heartbeat? I can.
Twin Disciplines can be pretty important and flexible. Recall. Less so.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
Alright, let's play Satan.
You rule the forest, Simon, as it rules you.
Just for the value.
This is Tempest! Two steps into moonlight. Too slow.
Astounding curiosities lie ahead.
We have a blocker now for Swain, which is really important. Took a big hit from him though.
Pledge or perish.
Oh, that's funny. It's a bit optimistic.
Hide and seek, huh?
But that's why we kept this. That's why we kept this.
Irish surge!
I am lightning. I break the wind.
Alright, Cannon's a 3.
That's why you always carry another pair of goggles.
Let's finish off Swain. Let's continue this obnoxious recall game plan. Let's do it. Retreat. Return.
Hut, 2, 3, 4.
Can always God will seedling this, so I need to start spreading out.
The forest and I are one.
Looking for a day of escape.
The world's heart beats with mine.
Let's go. Let's make it like the most likely, so this is more likely. Then you, then you, then you, then you. Right now this is 6 here, this is 12 damage in total. I could have gone with the God Willow Seedling instead. Okay. Down to 9.
The tempest gathers. It's still gathering. Too slow. Like this.
Sign in.
We'll get to clear that. Maybe the God Willow line of play would have been better. Like, I was thinking of using God Willow Seedling with Sign-In, but I reverted on that because I wanted to keep these cards in my hand. Okay, so this is 1 cost. I'll keep that in mind. It's hard to play this deck, though. Like, there's a lot of decisions to take into account. For now, we're just gonna play our 0 mana cannon,
Lightning and cloud style.
since it just costs 0 mana.
Reporting in.
We're not really worried about that Teemo at all. There's no threat of Leviathan, still a threat of Swain, but we have more than enough answers for that. Let's just play you.
Silent as death.
Silent. Oh! Bingo. Yeah, sure. One more card. One card left. Yeah, that was a visual bug. This costs 1 mana. This also should, yeah, this costs 2 mana. There's a few visual bugs going on here. Okay, so if we want to play this, we can't play that, and that, and have backup for Twin Disciplines. So this is enough, though.
Can you hear your heartbeat? I can.
So I'm gonna go with this.
I have studied every fighting manual.
Use this stunt. And we set things up for a lethal on the open attack next round.
So many places to hide.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
Too slow.
Beautiful.
Signing off.
Beautiful.
Balance in all things.
Time for a leap of faith.
I have studied every fighting manual.
And now we do it again.
Run if you can.
Alright. GG. I'm pretty sure I could have played this very differently, though. This deck is really, really interesting. Because there's so many lines of play. It's like, I feel like my narration.
Remember this moment.
I will remember everything about this moment, Ari. Thank you. Thank you for interrupting me. Level up! So, the thing about this... That was like only 3 games. It's like 47 minutes. Oh my god. But the thing about this deck that I really like is that there's a lot of different lines of play. Like, I could have used Godwillow Seedling on Sinan earlier to just draw more and have like a stronger hit, but I really wanted to keep the AHRI options open. But I'm not sure if I even sequenced that the best, to be honest, because a lot of times with my line of plays, I was heading in a certain direction, and then I just decided to do a U-turn in the middle of it, because I'm like, oh wait, you know what, I'm gonna do this instead. So that's why maybe my play was a little bit clunky. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I'd have to look back, because there's like a lot of different lines, and it's just this sort of archetype, this recall archetype is really intriguing. One of the reasons why some of the top players were really drawn into the Kennen Ezreal deck, even though, you know, it's been pretty much proven at this point that the deck was a little bit too strong, right? But I really do like the new identity for Kinku Wayfinder. Like, I feel like this is just, it's less cheese, and I love the fact that, you know, you're encouraged to play Dancing Droplet alongside Kennen now, because having access to both of them allows you to also have more potential ongoing value through Kinku Wayfinder without, like I said, cheesing out 2 Kennens and just getting insane snowbally turns on 4 and 5. You know, it felt like it was too much, and now this deck, it still feels really strong. And AHRI is still like a really bizarre champion to like analyze, because sometimes you think, what is AHRI actually doing in this deck? But she's contributing a lot, for sure. You know, the late game finisher potential is really strong, and also like the ability to bounce back and cycle through your deck with the Lancing Droplets, reuse the Kennens. Like, I really like the synergy, and I don't know, I like where Ionia is right now. Like, I've never had so much fun with Kinku Wayfinder in the past, because in the past she's always been like the face of these cheese decks that want to get out 2 Teemos or something like that. And now, I don't know, I feel like she's finally reached, you know, her potential with the introduction of more 1-drops in the game, and I like that. I like what they did with her, and I also really like the change to Godwillow Seedling, even though sometimes it feels like it takes too long. I really like the odd number of it, and the fact that, you know, if you play this on your attack token, you're going to be getting the second ephemeral unit on your defensive turn, which is really, really neat. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling at this point because I think I will cover a lot of this in the deck tech already. So I really enjoyed the games today, even though I felt like my narration was a little bit lackluster, like I didn't really talk as much. It's because I was really concentrated, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. And I will be back at it tomorrow with some more. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'll see you tomorrow.